everybody! Welcome. It's Adina Kazawa here, and today we're going to be getting into some VTuber news. But before we do, please make sure to smash subscribe, hit the like, ring the bell. And guys, do you know that I stream on Twitch? Head on over to Twitch, and if you're at work, leave me a lurk. Okay, guys, on to our very first piece of Newsy news. This is VShojo, and VShojo was a US-based VTuber agency headquartered in San Francisco. The company was founded in 2020 by Twitch employee Justin Gunrun Ignacio and YouTuber Philip Mowtendoo Fortunat. So this particular story is going to be focusing on Philip Mowtendoo Fortunat. So why are we talking about Philip? So you can see here, back on May 14th, Mowtendoo left VShojo. Prior to VShojo shutting down, Mowtendoo released a statement on May 14th that after 5 years, they were leaving VShojo. When the initial statement came out, some people were like, maybe Mowtendoo knows more than he's letting on. So anyways, guys, this is Veibae, and Veibae is a female independent English language VTuber who debuted in April 2020. She joined VShojo on April 2021 and left the group on April 2023. Anyways, guys, why are we talking about Veibae? Well, guys, Veibae has released a statement on her X account, and it's been posted on July 24th, 2025, around 6:24 p.m. So let's take a look at what it says. So Veibae says, and so are NDAs and are void. Why I left VShojo. Back in 2023, VShojo tried to bully me into the most predatory contracts I've ever seen. When I tried to ask more about it, their COO got extremely hostile with me and refused to answer any of my questions, so I had to hire a lawyer in order to get some clarification. They were ultimately wanting me to give up more than half of all my sponsor revenue and over 60% of all merch sales. So I asked to leave after being treated like I was disposable in our talks. They basically made it seem like they were my employer and that they were the reason for my success, that I owe them, and I should be happy to give them my money. Oh my goodness. Okay. In order for me to leave, they demanded I signed an NDA that prevented me from speaking to any other talent about it. I could not say what the terms that I was saying no to were. I even got in trouble for advising them to hire their own attorneys. They would watch my streams, read my Discord, and then threaten to sue me. If I said anything that hinted towards how I really felt about the company, I was threatened with a lawsuit. Another one of their leave terms was that they will announce both me and Silver on the same day in order to minimize the damage on their company. Their CEO has begun to push narrative on 4chan. Yes, I'm serious, laughing my effing ass off. And the other social media that I'm leaving because I plan to join OTK and that both me and Silvervale are troublemakers. So they were, quote, letting us go. The amount of hate we've gotten over leaving, from fans calling us greedy bitches and people saying we're abandoning our friends and tossing aside the company because we are successful enough, shit was effing painful. Not being able to say anything sucked. I only found out I didn't get paid for any of my sponsors after I had already signed the NDA. After 2 years, I had still not been paid back fully. To add insult to injury, they also demanded I had to pay them back $10,000 for some anniversary assets, which they sent me back months later, half finished. Now for some fun facts. Their company lawyer has expired law license. He literally does not practice law anymore, yet he was our point of contact for any legal help we needed. They actively pitted us against each other during my time there and compared our success to others. They tried enforcing streaming schedules so that our view count would look better due to less overlap. They would always talk shit about other VTuber agencies. They literally would spend company money to get a tiny dig at them, especially Hololive. So Mowtendoo got reprimanded for being creepy to us. LOL. Got told not to message us privately. Go figure. And then it says, I have proof from other streamers attending their IRL parties that Mowtendoo would actively talk shit about me after I left the company and pay me in the worst light imaginable. Don't know why you're acting innocent on Twitter, pretending you weren't aware of anything. Can't wait to see all the stuff that comes out about you because there's loads. But those aren't my stories to tell. Thanks for reading, and thanks to those who stuck around then and now. Thank you for giving me, Silver, and Nyan the benefit of the doubt when we needed it most. This is very unsettling. Mowtendoo was reprimanded for being creepy. I'm glad someone's saying it. You're acting innocent on Twitter, pretending you weren't aware of anything. It's like, thank you. If someone is that high up in the company, they absolutely know what's going on. But wait, there's more. This is Natasha Nyanners. She became a founding member of VShojo in 2023. She left VShojo and joined Mythic Talent. So why are we talking about Nyanners? Well, guys, turns out Nyanners has a statement as well. This post on the YouTube drama subreddit posted by Chapel69 says, VShojo co-founder and Otamad creator Mowtendoo was found to have been creepy to the talents and also harassing them. So this is a screenshot of Nyanners' X. And Nyanners says, when they say MTD, they mean Mowtendoo. Mowtendoo had the audacity to talk shit about you to my face at the party the year we all left and painted you as some kind of conniving, greedy mean girl who was in my ear and manipulated me into leaving VShojo just because you wanted me to join OTK because, quote, her boyfriend Soda is part of that org or for personal gain or some shit. He got uncomfortably close and up in my face and was like, come on, you know the real reason you left. I know it was because of Vei. She talked you into it, etc. It was so infuriating. I know he's spread that same shit to other staff, talent, and other industry people. Seeing one of my closest friends get dragged through the mud like this for years was awful. You did absolutely nothing wrong and had so much shit flung at you just because they wanted to push a narrative to protect the company. For him to act like he's completely blameless is insulting. He is a creepy mother effer, and there's a lot more, but obviously a lot of it is also not my story to tell. So let's see what some of the people on Reddit are saying. Pessimist says, he left the company 2 months ago. Talents were not paid for a year. Of course he knew. Sarcastic says, Nyanners never gets involved with stuff like this. If she does, you know it's bad. Suspicious Stock says, VShojo is dead. The co-founder, Mowtendoo, got exposed for harassment and shady behavior. Okay, so this is Tob, guys, and Tob is an independent English language VTuber who streams on Twitch. So why are we talking about Tob? Well, guys, Tob also had a run-in with Mowtendoo as well. So this is posted on Tob's Twitch. This is posted from the stream titled, Hi, It's Been a Week. So this is around the 13-minute timestamp, so let's take a listen.
All I want to say is fuck Mountain Dew. That's all I want to say. Just, you know.
Oh, is this pronounced Mountain Dew? I thought it was Mowtendoo. Mowtendoo. Okay, let's continue.
All I want to say is fuck Mountain Dew. That's all I want to say. Just, you know, he was weird to me once, and I don't want to go into anything in specific, but I talked to Veibae about this. I talked to Nyan about this. I talked to some others. I was just kind of like, you know, I'm not trying to take away from anyone or anything, but he was weird. He was weird to me at a party once at MagFest. He asked me to do cocaine multiple times. I said no. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't do that. I don't do that. And he just kept asking me, and I was like, I don't want to do that, no. And then, like, when I went to some party, like some room party, I guess during MagFest, he went up to me and he just thought it was really funny to make a bunch of Jew jokes to my face. And I was just kind of like, first of all, you know what, if I can have some friends that can make those, but it's like, I don't even fucking know you. But when I got into the room, he was like, hey man, what's your opinion on Hamas? And I was like, dude, what? I walked in and I was like drunk, and I was like, what the fuck? It was so weird. He was just like, he was really weird. And then he was like telling me to my face I looked like a conked out zombie and stuff.
What?
And I was like, damn, you're making me feel so bad about myself. And it's just like, look, I'm not trying to take away from anything, but it's just when people were exposing that he's fucking weird and creepy, I'm like, oh, thank God, because I have something to say. Okay? And like, and Ecto can vouch for me. She's in the chat. She was there when it happened, and we were both like, what the fuck? So I don't give a shit. Fuck him. That was so weird. He sucks. It was Mountain Dew, one of the former staff at VShojo. And look, I never have an issue. Like, he was fucking weird. He's fucking weird. And when that shit happened to me, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is not okay. I'll never forget that shit. So when that shit happened, I was like, oh, finally. When he stepped down from VShojo, like, oh, finally. It was so
anyways, guys, you can see here, even Tobbs had a run-in with, I always thought it was Mowtendoo, but I guess it's Mountain Dew. And it was very uncomfortable, very highly inappropriate. Alternative Room says, F him. Fair. I feel like that's a statement that we're all kind of feeling. So, like we suspected, Mowtendoo, however you pronounce it, was not innocent at all, and also had some very shady dealings that made people feel very uncomfortable, and was overall not really a nice guy at VShojo either. Okay, guys, on to our next piece of Newsy News. This is Camila, and Camila is a female English-speaking virtual YouTuber who's affiliated with Mythic Talent. So why are we talking about Camila? Well, guys, Camila has a statement as well. This is posted on her X account. This is posted on July 25th, 2025. And Camila says, I want to start by saying the severity of my experience isn't the same as what others went through with Gunrun. Just wanted to share this tidbit because it affected a lot of my friends, including me. In 2022, I applied for VShojo. I applied under my, quote, past life. VShojo at the time prefaced that they were looking specifically for smaller streamers. I thought I'd give it a chance because I was very small at the time. I auditioned, I passed. I received an email saying I would be moving on to the next stage as well as some of my friends. I and others were so excited to even pass the initial round. That alone was something to be proud of. We filled out the next part. This mainly contained more technical questions. What's your schedule like? Are you good with handling technical difficulties? What kind of streaming equipment do you own, etc.? Submitted that and, well, got another email back. I made it to round 3. I was so happy. I know I wasn't fully accepted yet, but it was still a nice feeling. So I waited. I waited a few days for the next step. I waited a few days turned into weeks. A few weeks turned into a few months. Nothing. I would frantically check my email almost every single day, waiting for something. Eventually, I let it go. They moved on without a word. I was sad, sure, but more confused by the sudden disappearance. A year later, I started growing as a streamer. I met so many other VTubers and learned a lot by being around them. One day, I was chatting with a bigger VTuber, and eventually the topic of VShojo came up. They told me they auditioned the same time I did. She made it to the final round, but they rejected her and the finalists last minute to hire someone they already knew. And these VTubers were given hush money not to tell anyone about it. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is something that like we talked about. We talked about this. We're like, oh, this is like really weird. Like this internal nepotism that's happening in VShojo. And people are like, no, Lydia, you're just crazy. This is a nothing burger. So many comments when I'm like, this is kind of odd. But wow, given hush money. They were given hush money not to tell anyone about it. That is horrible. Let's continue. The girls were devastated, just like the rest of us who got dropped without any warning. So yeah, thanks for wasting everyone's time. Oh, one more thing before I forget. You have no idea how many times your talents called me in tears, suffering due to your neglect and the way you constantly mistreated them. They weren't getting paid. They weren't getting responses from you in over 6 months, and other heart-shattering moments I can't share yet. Is this the treatment you give to those who contributed to your success? No one as sweet and hardworking as them should have been treated like that and stolen from. And with that being said, I dedicate this to you. And so this is a link to a music video here. And this is the music video. It says, Dear Gunrun. And it says monetization is off. And obviously, I can't play all of this for copyright reasons. Okay, so anyways, I highly encourage you to go watch this music video. It is titled Dear Gunrun. And it is a cover of a Billie Eilish song. And this is posted on Dextero. And Dextero says, VTuber Camila claims that VShojo gave hush money to creators after rejecting their auditions. Wow. I can't believe all the stuff that's, I mean, I can believe all the stuff that's coming about VShojo. But man, is it crazy? Is it crazy? VShojo giving hush money. Giving hush money. Hush money, guys. Wow, just so that they could hire their friend. It's mind-blowing. That like sometimes you're like, just when you think it couldn't get worse, it gets so much worse. Okay, guys, on to our next piece of Newsy News. This is Addison. So Addison has posted, wifey Leah and I got access to the recent VShojo pitch deck. And some of the stuff is really interesting. So if you guys don't know what a pitch deck is, essentially what that is essentially it's like a pretty much like a PowerPoint presentation about like the company. Usually the person takes a pitch deck to like other companies to be like, hey, do you want to work with us or do you want to sponsor us? Because this is all the stats of what the company does. And look at us, aren't we amazing, right? Anyway, so here's a TLDR of the pitch deck. Describes Gunrun as the quote, most well-connected Twitch staff. And then it says lost around 2.5 million in 2024. Even with aggressive growth, they'd still not turn a profit. This includes plans to license out IPs. Uses the fact they, quote, raised over $1 million for charity to attract investment, unable to confirm if this includes the $500K that's been unpaid. 10 talent managers, their salaries are included within the cost of goods sold. Around 20 to 30 employees. Claims IP licensing will bring in 2.1 million with nothing to back up this number. Initially contained IRL photos of VShojo's talent, which we've redacted. Oh my God. Slides below. That is horrible. Okay, so this is the slides here. The pitch deck had the IRL faces of the talent. Oh my God. That is ridiculous. There's no trust there, guys. There's no trust. But here's the important part of the pitch deck. So you can see here, VShojo's talents have raised over 1 million donations for various charity campaigns. How could you not know about that money when it's here in the pitch deck? That's very interesting. That's very interesting. Because here, if you guys remember, in the initial statement from VShojo that was made by Gunrun, that was posted on July 24th, here it says, I acknowledge that some of the money spent by the company was raised in connection with a talent activity, which I later learned was intended for a charitable initiative. You quote unquote later learned. However, it was in the pitch deck the entire time. Absolute lie there. Okay, guys, on to our next piece of news. This is Zentreya, and Zentreya is a female English language VTuber who debuted in 2017. Zen joined VShojo in November 2020. So why are we talking about Zentreya? Well, guys, Zen has released a statement. This is posted on July 24th at 7:01 p.m. And this is in response to a Gunrun statement from the VShojo X account. So Zentreya says, I've been trying to figure out what to say. Why did you keep dodging my messages and concerns? When I wanted to do one-on-ones, you kept dodging or you gave me short corporate answer. Even when I was under immense pressure from the community for answers about the auditions and I pleaded for a statement by your PR team, you told me it wasn't needed. You made a tiny video instead, looking like you were hurt and upset, saying sorry instead of meeting me one-on-one for my concerns. I was left crying and frustrated. But like an effing dog, I went back and happy to even get something from you. Because, oh man, boss actually answered me. You wanted one finally when you knew everything was crashing around you. Then debuting new talents and even such after the community kept asking about it and kept waving it off and letting me take the punches. I smiled. I effing brushed it off and kept pushing the company because I was hopeful for new talent and bringing new people to help. Instead, I find you were hiring people without input and poaching without even the idea of truly helping them other than financial gain. We didn't even know who you were bringing in. You and the team told us to just take it. You and some people were really ready for me to be thrown under over and over. Even when Amelie joined, I begged you to put out a statement regarding auditions before she announced her debut stream. You gave us the middle finger. Me and Amelie had to put out a statement because your PR team was unfit for their job. I took it all. Why did we have to say anything at all? Why did I have to keep taking the effing damage over and over? You were hurting me well before this. You know you have. I've been pushing a company so blindly who didn't even care for me. But I'm like an idiot and I kept believing. I was so excited for this. I spent sleepless nights dealing with constant harassment. And you spent money which you didn't even have without warning us on God knows what. And you knew. Don't even lie. You knew the money was for charity and was supposed to be placed into side untouched. Where did $11 million go in less than 3 years even? What happened to all that money? I'm just really tired from all these years of trying to push for something that kept pushing me to the wolves. I was so stupid. But I was so excited. I really trusted you. We all did. Despite everything, I don't wish you any ill will. I just hope you find some way to make this right. Everything Zen is saying is true, right? It's absolutely true because like when Amelie got hired, people were legitimately upset because like what happened with those auditions. Everything is coming to light. All right, on to our next piece of news. This is KSON, and KSON is an English and Japanese language independent VTuber. She joined VShojo in 2022, leaving the group in July 2025. So why are we talking about KSON? Well, guys, KSON has released this video here. This post on the virtual YouTuber subreddit is posted by Twilight, and it says KSON gives more updates on how she can no longer trust anyone anymore. So VShojo has released an official statement. The previous vid was taken before the statement dropped. They didn't write anything specific as going bankrupt. Basically, they're still keeping it open-ended. All the money, the charity money included, were all used for the company. Saying, I don't know at this point ain't gonna fly. Talent first my ass. They didn't even tell the talents that they were gonna release this statement. And despite all that, an hour after the statement dropped, they sent the same copy-pasted text to all talents' Discord. That's where they'll say they'll begin the paperwork to declare bankruptcy. With all this new info coming out, I just don't know who to believe anymore. Who's got malicious intent and who doesn't? At this point, it'll be stupid to still believe the goodness in people. So right now, I'm gonna assume they're all evil. Not counting the talents, of course. There's no way any talents had ill intent in this. Everyone involved in VShojo, excluding the talents, I'm cutting ties with them. But for my manager, San, we're gonna keep working together. That is KSON's thoughts about what she's going through and how she can't really trust people anymore. And that's completely valid, completely fair, considering what's happened with her in VShojo. So let's see what some of the people on Reddit are saying. Mike says, it's unfortunate that she lost trust in basically everyone within the industry and it's justifiable. For what it's worth, it would still be worthwhile to figure out some basic standards, rights, and practices for the industry. Things that talent should insist in having when dealing with corpos, talent agencies, etc. Midnight Rider says, I can understand the resentment or all the stuff that's happened. Still, to say that they're all outright evil is not a very healthy way to look at business partnerships. The main problem, I think, is that in relatively young businesses compared to stuff like music, TV shows, theater, or other kind of entertainment formats, that is not standardized or full of people with experience and honest intentions. The VShojo thing is an example of how people who don't really know how to run a business or make very stupid decisions lead them straight to crime and jail, while the talents get emotionally destroyed because of money concerns or personal feelings. What the industry needs is to make a good business plan with honest people who love what they are pushing, VTubing forward, and try to level out the talent, quote, freedom, making them happy with ability to financially sustain the corpo. As of now, I think corpos need to learn since the trust in the scene is shattered. Absolutely true. Yeah, VShojo has just inadvertently shaken and shattered everyone in the VTuber sphere. All right, on to our next piece of Newsy News. This is MATARA, and MATARA is an independent English-speaking VTuber formerly affiliated with VShojo. This is Zen, aka ZENTREYA, and ZENTREYA is a female English language VTuber. So why are we talking about MATARA and Zen? So this is a clip that's posted on Wasabi Clips, and it says MATARA confronts ZENTREYA. So let's take a listen.
How are you doing?
Do you want me to? I'm okay. I'm about to. I was waiting. I was watching your stream. I'm about to put my yogurt in the fridge and grab a glass of wine.
Delicious.
Yeah, I just want to say a really
That
quick
sounds
disclaimer.
wonderful.
I'm gonna laugh a lot, you guys. That's just what I do when that's just how I deal with things. So I'm gonna make like little jokes. You know, I'm gonna drink.
I'm sorry.
No, I love it. Don't worry about it. I'm just happy to be here with you. I'm happy to be here with you, girl. You know, it's misery loves company.
I'm really sorry.
It's okay, Zen. It's okay. You didn't do anything wrong.
I feel like I did.
But nah. Again, I want to be mindful of, you know, the things that we can say online or not, but no. I really do not believe that you did anything wrong in any way, shape, or form, and I hope you know that. And I know it can feel that way, right? Like, I'm not gonna go into like some DMs, but I did get a message from another member that was like, I'm so sorry, da 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 da. I feel awful, and I'm like, why? Like, obviously, it's fine to feel awful, but you didn't do anything. Like, just don't blame yourself. That's all I mean by that, you know? You didn't do anything wrong. Just know that.
Sorry. It's just been a lot going on this week. Thank you.
I know.
Okay, guys. In a way, by VShojo collapsing, it's actually like healing a lot of people. I know that sounds really crazy, but like as much as VShojo hurt a lot of people, it's also like now with like NDAs done, with the truth coming out, people can finally like heal these rifts that have been happening, these like false narratives that have been like, oh, this person, you know, is a jerk and, you know, don't talk to them ever. Like that, anytime someone wants to control who you're talking to or what you say, that's bad. But yeah, VShojo hurt so many people, guys. You have to please keep this in mind. VShojo was a very bad company. Now that we know the truth, now that people are free to speak their truth, people are brave enough to speak the truth, we can kind of see like all the cracks that were there the whole time, all the red flags that were there the whole time. Anyways, guys, on to our next piece of news. This is Mint. Mint was meant to debut in VShojo as well, but obviously that did not happen. And this is posted on the Kurosanji subreddit. This is posted by Necrolancer, and it says, you don't need a company, Mint. Mint pretty much restating what Sen previously said about how corporations can help talents. Okay, so let's take a listen.
I wouldn't say I'm very resilient. I'm actually, you know, you guys know I'm kind of a crybaby. And I take many things to heart, which is what you're not supposed to do when you are an internet figure. But, you know, what am I gonna do? Die? So I'll just keep doing my best, and I want, you know, I do want to. A lot of people were commenting things like, "You've done so much, Minto. You don't need a company. You have your fans. You have everything like that." And while they're correct, obviously, everybody is correct saying that there's something so. You know, you never don't think about how valuable it is to have people working for you or with you that have good connections and can help you do things and help you meet new companies and things like that. And I just want to be able to be, you know, someone that you can, type of streamer, VTuber, your Oshi, if I am someone that you can be like, my Oshi, she did that really cool thing. And someone that you can be like, oh my gosh, she's working with this company, or she's doing this thing or that thing, doing this concert or whatever. I want to be, you know, something like, I want to be someone that you can kind of kind of gloat about. Someone who does cool things. But, you know, I obviously still have fun, and I'm very happy to do just what I'm doing now. But I don't want to be stagnant, and, you know, we'll see what happens in the future. Obviously, it's been really stressful because everything has been in such limbo for the past couple of weeks for me, just not knowing. When things change so fast, something would be told to me, and then the next day something else would be told to me, and I would just be like, I can't follow anymore. But, you know, you guys have supported me through every step, and so every step 2020 to now, 5 years.
Anyways, guys, so that's essentially like Mint saying that like sometimes corporations can be helpful, right? Like, as much as being an indie is a lot like better in regards to like revenue and stuff like that, there is something to be said by having like a corporation behind you with connections and stuff like that. So like, really, I mean, it's kind of like think of it this way, right? Like, it's kind of like some people just enjoy being an employee versus being an entrepreneur, right? Some people just enjoy going to an office and having things done for them, whereas some people thrive on just being like, okay, yes, I'm gonna do everything, right? So like, essentially what Mint's saying is that like, yeah, not all corporations are bad, but man, I haven't really seen a one that hasn't been problematic. It could be that we haven't seen them because they are unproblematic. That is also a possibility too. Anyways, guys, so yeah, essentially what Mint is saying is that like she's still indie, but I feel like in her heart she's still kind of looking for her like kind of like corpo home, right? Not everyone wants to be indie, right? Because being an indie is very difficult. You wear a lot of hats. You have to be your marketing person, you have to be the editor, you have to be the content creator, you have to be the talent, you have to be your merch coordinator, you have to be a lot of things when you're indie, and that's a lot. It's a tall ask, right? It's definitely a tall ask. So sometimes it is nice to have a company do all that for you, because like at the end of the day, content creators, we just want to create content, right? We just want to have fun in our element and do stuff that you know that we want to do, and we want to entertain you, right? Anyways, guys, that's it. That's the end of the VTuber Newsy News. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And guys, if you're not available to come while I'm on Twitch, no problems. I do have the YouTube channel, Lydia VTuber Plays, at Lydia VTuber VODs, where you can see all of my gameplay. I've played through some of your favorites. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Take care. Mwah! Bye-bye. Hello, everyone. It's me, Lydia Nekozawa. I would like to formally apologize to all of the people who were affected by the Titanic 113 years ago. My bad. I should not have made the iceberg lettuce joke because it's, oh man, it's cold. Just like the cold waters of the iceberg Titanic.